of motorcycle racing, and that's what we've got. 25 laps around the roller coaster here in Portimao to bring you in the Premier class after we kicked things off in Qatar with back-to-back races where Yamaha were in control. A win for Viñales and a win for Quartararo, but it's another Frenchman that leads the World Championship coming into this one after 2 second-place finishes. Johann Zarco looks to defend his lead. Marc Marquez is back as well, but more on that in a moment. In terms of his rhythm, he's the man to beat, and he starts from pole, Matt. Fabio Quartararo looks like the book.
It's going to be all about the start, though, isn't it, for Zarco and on that plunge down the hill into the first corner.
130 beats per minute, but it looks as though we're set to go. As well, but as we shoot down to turn one, Rins has it, but here comes Zarco. He leads into turn one.
Marc Marquez, and he's up to 4th place already, trying to find a way through on Jack Miller into turn 3.
What a start from Joan Mir as well, number 36. Look at him. He's up alongside Pecco Bagnaia. It's Zarco the lead, goes through into 3rd again.
Yeah, and that also cost Miller a place on Mir as well. He had to run out wide onto the dirty part of the track.
6 or 7 corners into the race.
Maverick Viñales had an absolute nightmare. Viñales started 12th. He was
what an appalling start. Mir up the inside of Marquez,
yeah,
and there's
there you
contact.
Go. That's some early payback for yesterday. Controversially so on Jack Miller last time out in Qatar.
Oh, Rins thought about the move there. Up the inside
from Joan Mir, got himself up brilliantly. He's already recovered 6 places on this opening lap. Good start as well. Start for the Monster Energy Yamahas though. Quartararo on pole. He's going to come over the line 5th or 6th, and Viñales has only got Sassy dropped 5 places.
Oh,
that was tight. Pecco Bagnaia trying to recover up some ground on the brakes into the first corner.
Oh, he touches the rear wheel there of Joan Mir.
Yeah.
Just about stays on. That's worked out well for Quartararo.
It really come through. Quartararo himself had a big moment coming out of turn 4.
There is Mark there, and he's dropped back behind and front wheel on rear wheel. Sometimes that can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, Marquez could easily have gone down there, couldn't he? In 2021, isn't it? After their battle in Q1 yesterday, they've had a couple of contacts already today in this Grand Prix. We're not even.
And Taka Nakagami.
What on earth happened to Maverick Viñales on that 4th row? He's lost 4 seconds on that opening lap.
Towards Zarco, he said he wanted to lead. Oh, there's a move there from Aleix Espargaro, I think on Marc Marquez. Has that one to place at the front though. Oh, the front end is moving around there for the Pramac Ducati rider Johann Zarco.
How good the braking stability of the Suzuki is, but Zarco's just too many yards ahead for him to make a clean move. Pinch that place back into turn 2. You bet he can.
Yeah, they're a couple of proper fighters, aren't they, on Sundays, Morbidelli.
Agro did well to get through on Marc Marquez when he did. Here's Miller coming from a long way back into turn 5 on Fabio Quartararo. Brief trip into the top 4 for the Aussie.
Zarco can't shrug off this interest from Aldi.
For Suzuki to be in this position early on, 2nd and 3rd on just the 3rd lap of the race, this bodes.
They will not get a better chance of getting 2 men on the podium.
They're not having to use that extra grip of the rear tyre. He's got the inside line. There's not quite enough room for him to take the lead.
That was so close. He's dropped down to 17th behind Rossi and Bastianini.
Viñales is now last. What is going on? He's down in 21st place. A disaster for the Top Gun, who's misfiring big time.
Far to 3rd. Good move from Quartararo on Joan Mir, that.
And already we've seen what we thought would happen if Joan Mir and Quartararo at bay. So far, so good for the World Championship leader.
We've got a race on here. We have got a Ducati Suzuki, Yamaha Suzuki Ducati. Marquez is now fallen behind Brad Binder, so Marquez already got
that. Desmond Sadici will be able to keep ahead of Alex Rins' Suzuki. Bit of a twitch on the rear tyre for Mir.
Behind Brad Binder, who's made up another place then. Mir thought about a move back on Quartararo, but for now...
Crowd hero Miguel Oliveira at the moment, he's down in 12th place at this stage. Here he goes. Rins tried that on the last lap.
Rins is going to have the corner speed around turn 15, but Zarco's got the speed on the straight.
Sector 4 is where the Suzuki, and you can see Rins there already able to pull out of, what, 2 or 3 bike lengths, but he might get swallowed up now by the straight and that 1 kilometre straight in Losail, but there was nothing that Rins could do. Miller getting a bit erratic.
Miguel Oliveira, he's made a mistake again. He just set the fastest lap of the race, and he must have gone
4 bike lengths on Zarco coming through turn 15, and then they crested up the hill. And then before they got the
Repsol Honda rider, I don't know if he's feeling the ill effects of the crash that he had from yesterday.
He was really badly beaten up, wasn't he?
Sure.
Yeah, Thomas Espargaro is an absolute warrior. There's no way after just 5 laps he's going to pull in with any physical problems. Is Espargaro into the pits early doors?
Maverick Viñales is still in 20th place.
Oh, Rins again. That tyre to line, just released the brakes a little bit later than Johan Zarco, so that's twice in 2 laps. He's just marginally offline, and he asked for the power. Rear tyre spun up underneath him. It was just a small move.
Zarco through on both of them, but Quartararo's having none of it. He stays in 2nd place.
Yeah, this is in that game of dare, the game of chance on the brakes into turn 1. It was won by Rins and Quartararo. Jack Miller crashes out of podium contention then here in Portimao. Pain in Portimao.
Quartararo and fellow Frenchman, the World Championship leader, Johan Zarco. Then it's Mir, Aleix Espargaro. Behind Aleix Espargaro here. Wow, that's so peculiar. What happened there?
Race winner from last year, he's dropped down to 15th place. Shout out to Taka Nakagami. Heroic performance at the moment. Not an inch of his body is not without incessant pain, and he's in the point scoring places right now. Well, don't think he's done a lap in the 140, Steve. It's another 141 low from Vinales. It's been an unmitigated. His factory Yamaha teammate Fabio Quartararo leading this Portuguese Grand Prix.
To charge. Is it time to wind things back? He's got full heat now into that hard rear tyre. Sector 4.
Corner speed with the Suzuki's no mug, is it, in terms of corner speed? Quartararo then again dips down into those high, and that's the best lap of the race so far. 4/10 he is now, eked out ahead of Alex Rins. Academy colleague Franco Morbidelli. It's been a real good charge through the pack by Bagnaia. Quite a bit of time lap record at the end of Q2 yesterday, wiped out for the yellow flag infringement. Of course, the big crowns.
Interesting for Aleix Espargaro, Matt. The same sort of situation as Qatar, where in the early laps,
just struggling to go at the moment with Quartararo and Rins ahead of him. There's nothing between their lap times, but you can throw over a second for the first time.
Quartararo still has some bother here from us.
The Suzuki so gentle on its tyres, and Alex Rins has got the finesse, hasn't he? He's not an aggressive rider. It's like we really need to keep an eye on. It's the Italian Pecco Bagnaia, who had good pace all weekend in terms of row on the KTM.
Great onboard shots of this undulating circuit in Portugal. On board here with the Suzuki of Alex Rins looking up to
lap times at the moment. 140.4 over the line last time for the Doctor. Well, that was only a tenth slower.
In terms of race pace there, because yesterday he couldn't get into anywhere near the mid-140s.
They've obviously found the...
In we go. There will be 12 laps to go. We've reached the halfway point of this race in Portugal.
Yeah, quite clear. Joan Mir's going to have his hands full hanging on to that podium finish. He's the first Moto GP World Champion since the late great Nicky Hayden back in 2007. He won't want to make it 3 in a row.
Ferrari, he was just missing that little bit of experience. Last year didn't go to plan, but this is
plumped on the grid later. He is absolutely inconsolable.
Ashton remounted as well. Survival of the fittest here in Portugal.
It's all this but
Ferrari, he was just missing that little bit of experience. Last year didn't go to plan, but this is a turbocharged.
The better endurance, having plumped on the grid late on for the hard rear compound. Weekend, Michelin did say if the track goes over 35 degrees, then the hard rear tyre certainly does come
behind Valentino Rossi.
Well, he's lapping at the same pace as his teammate Alex Marquez. He's a little bit further up the road.
Team principal keeping an eye on Johan Zarco, the championship leader. He won't be the championship leader as things stand.
Credit to Zarco, he got himself into the high 139s on that last lap himself. 39.8 on the start-finish rate. You bet he can. There's your answer. And it's a fairly emphatic one, isn't it? Quartararo and Rins yet 9.654 for Quartararo, immediately bettered with a 39.598 from Rins. Having to work so hard in the twisty sections of Portimao just to try and keep that position. And Zarco blitzes on by like mere standing still.
Alex Rins is keeping the pressure on Fabio Quartararo.
All he can do, try and force the Frenchman into some kind of an error. At the moment, it's been picture perfect for Fabio.
Himself in prime positions from the word go.
But it is far too late for him to have any impact on this Grand Prix.
Someone's gone down.
There's been another crash, hasn't there?
It is. Valentino Rossi has crashed. What a shame for him, because he just hit some decent pace.
At the start of this Grand Prix, we had 3 sets of brothers involved. Marini and Rossi in the battle, and that's the Marquez brothers, who at the moment are 9th and 10th.
Bagnaia closes on his
recent record, Steve. Now that's just 12 points scored in his last 9. Well, that's when it's going to catch out the Doctor. Tips it in.
That went incredibly early, didn't it?
Yeah. Track limits warning for second place. Franco Morbidelli unfortunately looks like he's just going to miss out on the podium, but Walter
Me being made ready. Mir is going to try everything, but ultimately it's the power of the Ducati that will elude here. An excellent ride from Morbidelli. Binder as well in fifth. Elisha Spargaro sixth, and the returning Marty ahead of his younger brother Alex, with Bastianini finishing in ninth. And this is a scrap here.
Well, as we said, El Diablo in dreamland. That was pure class ahead of the field. Back-to-back wins for the second time in his